Hello and welcome to another episode of Happy Hour with Hockett. I am your host, Anna Hockett, and I'm so excited to be with the owner of one of my favorite restaurants in town, Crystal Park Cantina. We'll get to Justin in just a second, but I do have to give a little weekly plug to the Colorado Springs Rising Professionals, or CSRPs, as that is the organization who put me in touch with this role and this exciting deal of getting to meet all these really influential local business owners here in Colorado Springs. So, but without further ado, I do want to introduce Justin. Justin, you're sitting on the patio at Crystal Park Cantina. I need to get a better camera so we can do these live, because I'd rather be with you than in my office right now. Look at that.
I won't put
I'm
you
jealous.
guys on.
Looks like a heck of a Friday afternoon you got going.
It's a little quiet right now, but we expect a little bump in the afternoon. But it's really beautiful up here in Crystal Park Canyon. The trees right now, everything's green. See a ton of animals up here. If they come near the patio, we prefer you throw things at them, get them away. But it's pretty cool up here, and we're like the only business up the street. So tons of parking, free parking.
Right. So Justin, how long has Crystal Park been there?
We opened in 2011, so we're just coming on our first decade, and been able to get ourselves rooted here in the community. A lot of good support from everyone that lives here, not only here but the west side, and we know we have some fans from even eastern Colorado too that come out. So.
Absolutely. Well, every time I've had people in town and I take them there, they think it's just absolutely fantastic. So I'm a huge fan. Like I was telling Justin, you guys before, that I've definitely had a few cocktails myself on that patio. So, and okay,
it is good for that.
Because we always start this show off with a little virtual toast, I made a margarita. It sucks compared to every margarita I've ever had at Crystal Park. So we'll do a little virtual cheers, and I'll let you tell. Cheers, Justin. That's garbage compared
Cheers
to
to you.
have.
Thanks for
What's
having
the
me today.
secret? Why are yours so good?
I think with all things, it always starts with tequila, and then you got to get the ratio just right. You never want too much juice for the tequila. So we try to make ours really concentrated, over lots of ice, drinks a lot more like a daiquiri.
Absolutely.
So not a lot of fillers in there. And then our sauce that we use, our secret margarita mix, that it's just really an ounce or an ounce and a half in each drink is all. But it's made up with fresh lime, fresh lemon, and fresh orange juice, and a little bit of cane sugar. So no fructose corn syrups, none of that kind of fake stuff. And I think that's what you taste is the natural flavors that blend well together. And then, of course, we use agave tequilas, and just makes for a good, strong drink.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, that to me, those margaritas, I think that there's crack in them. That's how delicious they are, especially when you're in the sunshine on the patio there. So Justin, tell me about you. Are you from Colorado Springs? How'd you get in the restaurant business?
I am. I'm actually from this neighborhood. I grew up eating at this very restaurant. I would walk down the street, have my birthday parties here. It was the Mission Bell Inn, it was called. It was a restaurant for about 52 years, and also served Mexican food, believe it or not.
Okay.
And we knew the family that owned it, and we were actually eating here when they told us they wanted to sell it. And we had just moved back into town, and we're looking for restaurant space. I grew up in this industry. My mother had multiple restaurants in the Colorado Springs area when I was growing up as a teenager, and so I always worked in them. I've always liked going to restaurants. I like going out to eat and seeing what they offer, and and seeing what places are like to just sit in, ambiance wise. So I always wanted to do something, and when we came back here, it seemed like the right thing to get us all involved.
Absolutely. How cool is that you started a place in somewhere that you used to eat as a kid all the time? Like, that's so special.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And I remember it being just a fun place. It was a little bit more formal back then. They had a suit and tie at the door. You won't find that today, but it's a little bit more kind of like longer dining. Well, everything's evolved now, but we've kind of opened it up and freshened it up and really focused on the plants on the patio. And that's probably my favorite spot here, because I spend all my time out here in the mornings getting this place going, but got tons of blooming perennials and about 4 different water features. So it's really kind of relaxing when you're out here, if you can get a table.
Yeah, it's so tranquil. So tell me about, like, how have things changed in the last, so since what you said 2011 is when you guys originally opened?
Yeah.
obviously this year has thrown a curveball for you guys, but like, tell me about maybe just how it's evolved since 2011, and then we'll talk a little bit more about this year specifically.
Well, it's definitely a work in progress. Every restaurant, a lot of moving parts, so you got to get everybody synchronized, and you got to find some really good people in key positions. And we're grateful moving into our 11th year. I have probably 10 staff members that have worked here at least 8 years.
Really?
So when you get that kind of longevity, it really makes things smoother. A lot of synergy we have here. Locals have definitely adopted us. We don't have a lot of rules here other than no dogs on the patio. You don't need reservations. You just show up. We take care of you. It's just meant to be a really stress-free environment. You know, bring family. You come on a hot date, or you can bring your whole family. You know,
For sure. Well, so that's what I was going to say, especially since you were saying it used to be a little bit more formal. Every time I'm there, I feel like, and anybody that knows me knows that I'm typically a little bit more dressed up for Colorado taste.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because every time I'm there, you'll see everybody from, like you said, someone on like a hot date and pretty dolled up, and then people that have just been hiking all afternoon, you know, and are coming to crush some margaritas and chips and guac. So I think that that's really special about your location. And that's, I mean, really a lot of the places in Colorado, but I think yours specifically, because it's so close to so many trails and in the mountains, so people can really anything goes. Right?
Right now we have a flock of about 15 wild turkeys that on any given evening can provide a lot of entertainment. You'd be surprised. They block the entranceway. They chase people at their cars. It's very fun to watch from up on the patio.
I bet.
And I'm not lying. There's like, how many, 30? 30 or 40? Yeah.
Pretty soon you're going to be serving turkey tacos.
Yeah, we are. Trust me. They're going to disappear overnight.
So tell me a little bit about like, so obviously, you know, with everything going on in the world with COVID and all those things, what has that done for the business, or what, you know, are you worried? What's the feeling right now?
We were worried.
Can we take some shots of tequila before we start discussing?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, you're always concerned when something as dramatic as you know, a government closure happens. It was pretty intense, you know, pretty humbling after 10 years of hard work to get shut down so quickly. So we understood the threat, and are doing everything we can here at the cantina to make people feel comfortable. We fortunately have a lot of space, so we're easily able to space every table out. But we're a big fresh air environment. We have a lot of open windows, and you know, we leave mask wearing up to our employees, because some of them it's very difficult to breathe under those conditions. And but we've always kept a very clean environment here. We've always sanitized tables afterwards. None of that is really that new, frankly.
Right.
It's just kind of getting people back to believing they're safe, I think, is the main focus.
Absolutely. Do you think like have in the last, because I was there the first week you guys were open with a group of girlfriends, but has like have it was pretty crowded when we were there. We were very fortunate. I had a couple gals got there really early, so we got a table. Have you seen a pretty big pickup as far as people coming in, or do you think?
Yeah, I think the majority of people feel fairly safe, you know, and are out and about. And I think there's probably a percentage that don't feel that way, and they're not. Yep. And that's probably how it should be. I think the biggest thing you'll notice, at least this time of year, is typically you have a lot more people visiting Colorado Springs right now, visiting Manitou. That's kind of the echelon of folks that you're not feeling right now. But overall, the locals, you know, I would say the residents of our town have been great. And not only been great, but been very generous to our staff in terms of tipping and accommodating when there are lines or at the wait. Everyone's been pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, don't you think about Colorado Springs, that's something that makes us a little bit unique as far as the community really, I think, rallying around one another, or, you know, especially when it comes to restaurants, and I know you guys did takeout. Are you still doing takeout or no, Justin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, prior to this, we were, you know, frankly, a little snobby about it. We didn't even do takeout.
I know.
We wouldn't answer the phone. I mean, frankly, we were busy enough. We could barely keep up with what we had in the restaurant, let alone try to do takeout orders. But we are doing that, and we changed our phone system, so we actually answer it now. So you can get a hold of us and place an order. But, you know, in my opinion, the cantina is meant to be enjoyed with people, and you're meant to enjoy it here. because that's what's cool about it. It's a great multi-level place. You can wander around. There's pretty things to look at, and the food's great. And it's more of that type of place. I don't even want to be known for takeout, frankly.
No, I think it's just a necessary thing right now, but
it is.
I agree. Sure. Part of my thing is going out to dinner. I like having someone serve me or wait on me, and I don't like to have to do dishes and stuff like that. But I mean, I think that it's a great option, and it's like I said, something that you kind of have to do in these times. Tell me a little bit more about the menu, because I have had so many different items, and I haven't had a bad item on the menu at Crystal Park Cantina. So tell me about that and how that has evolved, and how do you choose that stuff?
I'm kind of hesitant to label it because people try to call it Tex-Mex or Baja style Mexican, but frankly, it's really just a mixture of things that we like.
Yeah.
We have chicken wings, we have a hamburger, we have things you wouldn't normally see on a traditional Mexican menu. Mm-hmm. We have 3 house sauces that really kind of flavor everything, and we put a lot of pride and joy in those. And we're kind of a little bit like the soup Nazi guy on Seinfeld, because we don't really do a lot of exceptions. We don't have any. It's just this is what we have, and most people really seem to love it. We get a lot of folks coming back getting the same item every night, and that's a really good sign to our restaurant. So everything's really fresh. Everything my mom really prioritizes as fresh ingredients as possible. And fortunately, we're a busy place, so we barely have food prepped. It doesn't last 24 hours, 36 hours, and it's already out the door. So I think that people can tell it's fresh, a lot of care on the food, everything's handmade.
Right.
It's still a burrito, but the way we do our pulled pork and the way we make our green chili just makes it a special burrito. So.
The green chili is insane.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's our best seller. And my mom's been serving that same green chili in a restaurant since I was like 8.
So does she still do some of the cooking now, or is it the recipe?
She would have you believe that if she were sitting here, but she doesn't do any cooking really. But she does look over your shoulder and make sure you get it right.
Make sure that no one's blowing it.
Yeah, she doesn't do a ton of actual that stuff anymore. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say they're definitely all her creations, her recipes. Some stolen, some learned, some combined. Just she's very creative. She has tons of cookbooks. She's always, she's reading cookbooks the way me and Vern are watching NFL football.
Absolutely. So great.
So it's come up with new ideas. You mostly have to just keep her calm. It's the main goal.
I think so. I was going to say my husband, every single time we've been in, he gets the enchiladas every single time. He doesn't think that there's any other enchiladas in the city for that matter. He just absolutely loves them. I get something different every time. I've gotten the guac. I've gotten tons of your different apps. Like I said, I'm trying to find a bad item on the menu. I haven't gotten the burger, but so many people have told me that the burger is actually one of the best.
Yeah. It's a unique burger, and people are always surprised when they get here, like, what, you can get a burger? And a lot of people just don't like Mexican food, so it kind of gives somebody an option. But yeah, it's really good. It's gluten-free. Do a really nice homemade bun made out of corn primarily.
That's amazing.
And it's really good.
Well, listen, I mean, like I said, it's one of my absolute favorite places. I wish I was sitting with you guys on that patio, and I might actually join you in a little bit here because your margarita looks so much better than mine.
It's in a prettier glass. Vern's got one too.
See, now that we got Vern here, you guys, who's joining us, which is just a bonus, right?
Always is. Vern would help me out. Well, when we first started, I would bartend, and as we got busier, a couple of times I would just be getting crushed, and Vern would be down there making fun of me. And then finally one day I'm like, "Why don't you get up and kid around here and start pouring some beers?" So for about 6 months, he was a fill-in bartender with me until we realized it was beyond our skis. So we actually got some pros in here now. We were quite the duo. Yeah.
Good job for you, Vern. That's good. Mm-hmm. Hey, Justin, where were you living before that you came back and started it?
So when I left for college, kind of lived all over when I was playing football. And my wife and I spent 5 years in Baja, Mexico and San Diego. So we were in Baja, Mexico for about 5 years where we kind of started doing some of this food. And then we migrated to San Diego for another about 6 years and then moved back here. So I was gone for about 20 total.
Wow.
Yeah.
San Diego's amazing and Baja's incredible, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's kind of like San Diego with no people.
Yeah,
Or
and
no
probably a lot
development.
cheaper.
Yeah, way cheaper. Yeah, actually affordable. But
Yeah, it's so cool. And were you,
Yeah, it's cool.
were you in the restaurant business there too?
Not really. Our first dabble was in San Diego, and we had a meal delivery program called Raw Box, and it was primarily raw food,
Okay.
like 85% raw, fruit, vegetable, and organic nuts, and that kind of stuff. And we did that for a couple years. It was pretty good. When we moved here, we decided to sell something a little easier, like tequila and tacos, rather than raw food. Seems to be more popular.
Everybody's on board with tequila and tacos,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Hard to argue.
Do you guys think, like, what do you think is going to happen as far as, because last time I was in, I know you can't have the bar, or can you have the bar open now? I know the
No.
bar's not like typically open. Can you?
Yeah, you're not allowed to. Well, technically, you can sit at the bar as long as you eat.
Okay.
No, but not like a bar like you're used to, where everyone's sitting and everyone filling in behind and everyone chatting. That gathering at the bar is currently not available.
Not available.
So you have to go to your tables.
Yeah, and that's what we did. I mean, shit, we were there for probably 4 hours.
Yeah. Well,
Which
Vern and I are
worked for
thinking
me.
about making a comeback in the bartending business because we won't have anyone at the bar. We could actually get our jobs done.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're thinking maybe we kind of come out of retirement.
I like
Yeah,
it.
maybe. Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to let you guys get back to your drinks, but I'm so grateful. Like I said, I was grateful that we actually connected, you guys who are watching on Instagram. And I said,
Nice.
hey, you know, I had eaten with a bunch of girlfriends and posted some pictures, and I don't know if you sent me a message or I sent you a message or your
It was
wife,
my wife.
did.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad that we got connected. And you know,
Cool.
these local places, like, this is what makes, I think, Colorado Springs really special. I was telling Justin before, you guys, that I'm from Chicago, or I lived in Chicago for 10 years. So that's something a little bit different for me. I'm used to having 8 zillion restaurants, you know, at my fingertips, but I've still gotten into these great, incredible food, incredible ambiance. Like I love your place so much, Justin. I'm so
thank you.
we got
We
connected.
appreciate it. We put a lot of pride and time into it, and we want it to be somewhere where you get here, you're like, we're back. So
You can
good.
tell like when you use quality ingredients and you make really, really good food, it's all the difference. And that you guys love it. That makes a huge difference as well.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Oh my God, no problem. All right. So tell everybody where you guys are at one more time.
Okay.
And then what is the website? crystalparkcantina.com.
You got it. And
Okay.
we're in historic Manitou Springs. We're really at the very beginning of town, and you go up Crystal Park Road, and we're the only business up there. We're very easy to find on Google Maps, and we're open every day but Monday. So
And like you said, tons of parking, you guys.
tons, free
Very
parking.
easy to park or Uber there, which I usually do because
Did I mention the wild turkeys?
There's
wild
lots of-
turkeys around here. I'm not kidding you. I'm looking at one right now. So
perfect.
yeah, come check them out.
Absolutely. So everyone go check out Crystal Park Cantina. Check out the Colorado Springs Rising Professionals because they're the ones that help us get all of this information out to you. And Justin, thanks so much. I'll do one more little cheers with you, sir.
All right, cheers. We'll get Vern in there.
Cheers, Bert.
Cheers. Have a good afternoon. Have a good
Have a
weekend.
great afternoon, everybody.